No, the Switch is not Nintendo's last console. Nintendo is not quitting after the Switch, and Nintendo is not leaving the video game console market, at least anytime in the near future. At all. I don't know why so many people decided to clickbait that one quote taken out of context. I'm paraphrasing here, but basically the president of Nintendo said in an investor meeting that if video game consoles were no longer profitable, Nintendo would be able to adapt to the market. Obviously, he said that because the investors don't actually care about the quality of Nintendo's video games or what they're even doing. The investors just care about the money. So, obviously, in an investor meeting where your sole purpose is to try and get more investors, of course he's going to say that Nintendo can adapt to whatever the climate is. That's just obvious. And I'm sorry, skip to the time on screen right now if you don't want to hear my rant about clickbait and that sort of thing. I have notifications on for every single comment I've ever gotten on this channel, and I don't intend on turning them off, because every time I get a positive comment, it literally just makes me so, like, it makes my day. Whenever I see a comment like, nice video, or I enjoy this, I legitimately start smiling. But then again, I see the freaking dumbest comments from the absolute bozos of the internet. Take this guy who just comes in saying this is clickbait. Scotty comes in with the voice of reason saying no it's not. He responds with the most intelligent this is clickbait, just repeating his first message. I ask him how, and he doesn't even know. Like, how can you say it's clickbait but not know how it, like, what the fuck? So yeah, I definitely have been called clickbait a lot of times. I've gotten into a lot of arguments of what is clickbait, and my definition is intentionally misleading the viewer into clicking on a video that is not at all related to the title and the thumbnail. I think that's a reasonable definition, and I think a lot of the YouTubers, I'm not going to call anyone out because I'm not interested in starting drama, but I think a lot of the YouTubers who made videos about Nintendo quitting after the Switch or that sort of thing were really just clickbaiting. Honestly, they were making videos with the sole intention of misreporting the news, and it's literally fake news, as Trump would say. So yeah, rant over, but Nintendo is not quitting the video games. That's just not happening. But what would happen if they did? What if the Nintendo Switch was Nintendo's last ever console? What would happen then? Hey guys, it's Thomas from the Switch Stop, and this is a theory, I guess, so we'll put this under theory speak. What would happen if Nintendo quit, just stopped making video game consoles altogether after the Switch? What's up guys, it's Thomas from the Switch Stop. Make sure to like the video and make sure you're subscribed. Also, comment down below, comment question of the day, which is something I think I'm going to start doing. What game in 2019 are you most excited for? For me, it's got to be Animal Crossing, but yeah, let me know down in the comments below. Anyway, what would Nintendo start doing to make money if they stopped making video game consoles? Well, first of all, we gotta discuss that the Switch is going strong and has no signs of stopping. It's scary to think that the Switch is already almost 2 years on the market. That's actually insane to think about, but it seems like the Switch will go strong for a while. Nintendo has indicated they've wanted to kind of spend time with the Switch for a long ass time, but once the Switch is over, in this hypothetical world, maybe that's around like 2023, 2024, 2025. Let's say 2025 just because it's kind of a nice number. What does Nintendo do then? Here's option number 1. Nintendo goes full-on smartphone mode. Nintendo has dipped their toes into the smartphone market, into like the App Store, Google Play Store, and all that stuff, but unfortunately, their games have kind of all been like doo-doo, except for Fire Emblem Heroes, that's a good one, and I guess Super Mario Run and Animal Crossing, whatever you call it, Pocket Camp, have had enjoyable aspects to them, but I don't think anything's really done as well as Fire Emblem Heroes. Personally, I know that I was kind of disappointed with both Mario Run and Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, despite the fact I did have fun with them. I just think they could be a lot better, and my hopes are high for Mario Kart Tour, so please don't mess that one up. But anyway, yeah, Nintendo could go full-on mobile mode, as they started doing mobile games in 2017, I believe, was the release of Super Mario Run, or maybe 2016. I think Mario Run released 2016 winter, or maybe early 2017. So they've been doing it for quite a while. By 2025 hits around in this variant reality. So I think that's definitely an option for them. They could also potentially go Sega mode and start developing games for Xbox and PlayStation, but honestly, if Xbox and PlayStation are still around, then obviously consoles are still proving to be marketable and like profitable, so I don't think that's really makes sense even in this hypothetical reality. Next up, Nintendo could go back to making toys. Some of you guys probably know this, but Nintendo used to make toys before video games. Actually, their video game marketing thing extended from the fact that they were a well-known toy company, because this was at the time in the video game like home console crash of, what was it, 1983. Pretty much no one wanted to buy a video game home console anymore just because they were so expensive, and Atari kind of messed things up for everyone. Everyone just wanted to go to the arcade instead, so Nintendo came in and said, okay, yeah, you plug this thing into your TV, but it's a toy, not a video game console. And that's how they really marketed it. They marketed it with the light gun. It was like a zapper toy, and the whole Rob the Robot thing on the NES. And yeah, Mario Bros is in there too, but that's still a toy. I mean, it's a toy. It's made by Nintendo. Now, obviously, we know Nintendo is now a video game company, but back then, they made toys with the Game & Watch, even things like the Ultra Scope, Ultra Hand, and Nintendo's first ever toy, Rabbit Coaster, could all see relatively successful releases. If Nintendo just like spruced them up, gave them a couple of commercials, I feel like kids would still be willing to buy toys. Especially if Nintendo made like Mario branded toys. This combined with the mobile app could definitely do wonders for Nintendo. Moving on, if Nintendo were not to make any more consoles, yet they wanted to stay in the business of electronics, Nintendo could 100% make animated movies. I won't stay on this topic too long because it's pretty much all speculation, but Nintendo clearly has the electronic know-how to do this. Obviously, they'd have to definitely have some hirees and some firees, but honestly, Nintendo could 100% do this. On top of that, they're dipping their toes into it right now with the Mario movie being made by the Minions people, so, I mean, it's definitely possible. Another thing they could do is theme parks. There are currently three Nintendo theme parks in the world that are currently being created. One in Japan that is set to open in 2020, one in Universal Hollywood, and one in Universal Florida. Those are, I think, set to open around 2025-ish. Nintendo could just go full-on park mode, partner up with Universal, and start working on all that stuff. Last but not least, they could go into card making? Okay, so hear me out. You may or may not have known this, but Nintendo used to make Hanafuda cards. They actually still do, but it's obviously only in Japan, and it's a very small part of their business. But Hanafuda is a traditional Japanese card game that was often played during New Year's. To my limited knowledge, I'm pretty sure it was heavily associated with the Yakuza, which is a crime gang if you didn't know that, but regardless, Nintendo could always get back into that. Obviously, it wouldn't be nearly as profitable as some of the other things we said on this list, but hey, what works, works. And overall, if the video game market crashed, Nintendo could definitely do a combination of these things. Who's to say they couldn't do all of them and become even more successful than their current video game state? Now, obviously, I don't want that to happen. I'm not saying this will happen. I do not think the Switch will be Nintendo's last console. Obviously, I had to already state that. I'm just saying, if in this hypothetical world, which will not happen, the Switch was Nintendo's last console and Nintendo didn't make any more consoles and had to do other things from 2025 onward, I think I just made a pretty good list of things that Nintendo could do. So with that out of the way, like the video, because if you're this far into the video, I'm pretty sure that means you at least enjoyed it. And if you did enjoy it, then that probably means you want to help out the channel. Liking the video is the best way to do that, so seriously, thank you guys so much for anyone who did. It means the world. On top of that, I asked this before, but I'll ask it again. Comment down below what game you're most excited for in 2019. I will heart and pin whatever I like and find interesting. Thank you guys for watching. I'm Thomas on the Switch Shop, signing off. Peace.